Good day, my loves. Good day, good day, good day. I hope you are well. I hope you are well. I really do. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And if you can't do all four, then at least one. And at least one we have control over, which is our physical being, right? But I hope you guys are well. I really do. I am outside with a few of my plants. I'm nursing them back to health. I allowed some negative energy to gain access to me. And the crazy part about it is that we talked about plants, and I talked about giving someone one. And I hadn't talked to her in like at least a year, maybe. And then all of a sudden, my plants died. I ain't heard back from. I ain't heard back from. But I expected as much. I didn't expect my plants to die though. That just was another revelation that I experienced how energy actually works. So I'm out here nursing a few of them back to health. And some more on the inside, but they real sensitive to the sun, and it's the last of the sun. So I'm out here enjoying it. I hope you guys get outside, right? I dragged my great nephew outside, and normally I mind my business. But I dragged him outside. I don't know what that will do, energetically for me, but it's difficult when you're an empath and you just love and you just want the best for people. But I also recognize that me imposing on other people, even if I know I'm right, it's taking away their free will and is one symptom of being a narcissist. I'm not one. I was raised by one. I love too much. But when you're raised by one and you've been groomed, you're going to pick up a couple of their traits. And that's one. That's a toxic trait that I didn't see it as toxic at the time. I really didn't. Because I knew what would be on the other side of what other people experience if they went down a certain path or if they made a certain choice or whatever, right? So I'm learning. But I was sitting out here soaking up some sun, taking out my twist, and I just realized sitting out here in the sun, which I'm glad I did, y'all. My edges are a little scarce, right? And I think it's because of my head wraps, and they're actual cloth head wraps. And I thought I was doing a good job, which I knew kind of sort of I wasn't. But I didn't think it was like this drastic, because you can see it. I'm about to have a widow's peak if I keep it up on right here. These pieces right here. So I can't wear wraps for a minute. I can't wear my head wraps. And I had so many head bonnets. I can't find out near one right now. And that's been almost for months, so it is what it is. I have one silk scarf, and I have a silk pillowcase, so. But yeah, I can't wear my head wraps anymore. I gotta nurse my hair back to health, which is part of the physical being, right? And so I was sitting out here and I was looking at my plants and I was like, wow, how there was a point in time when I didn't even take care of them. I just let them do what they were going to do, which is an indication of me not taking care of myself, right? Well, for me it is. And so I remember watching this lady, this pastor lady, and she was so awesome. She actually was the first to spark my posting videos on like social content and spiritualness, because she gave a sermon, and I want to say it was at TD Jakes. Not only was she a pastor, but she was also a psychiatrist because she went to school. And I found her so like riveting. She was just awesome. She was amazing. She was phenomenal. So much so that she cracked something open in me, and I went live on Facebook talking directly to my family and those that resonate with it. And she was talking about um, the spiritual and the spiritual connection to mental illness. That's what it was. And it was so good, y'all. I would love to just talk to her. It was so, so good. Anywho, so I'm sitting here and I'm playing in my hair and I'm untwisting my hair and I'm being thankful and I'm grateful and, you know, still having compassion for myself because, all the thoughts that go through your head, what you're still dealing with, what you're not dealing with, what you've overcome, what you still, may need to overcome, and then all the stuff we don't even know about, right? And I was like, I flashed back to the sermon, because it was a sermon, but to me, I was in class, I was in school, but it was a sermon she was giving at the church. And of course, then Dr. Sebi, rest his soul, popped in my head as well. Because he has this saying where the herbs are the healing, and he kept saying it's from the Bible. It's from the Bible. That's what it said. And I remember when I was studying him, and when he said that, I went and pulled up how many times the Bible references the herbs of the land. And so then my mind started wandering because I wasn't taking care of the plants. And, in reality, the plants are the reason why we are able to walk and live and party and have fun and feel, okay? And I came across a video, and this is where he misspoke, but we all did, because we were raised that way, to think that men and women, human beings, are the top tier, I'll say. And then, I've watched a lot of psychiatrists. I've also watched, I've watched a lot, y'all. And so all of this is coming together while I'm sitting out here. All of these pieces are like floating around. And they're like, okay, here I go right there. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now, I like to put puzzles together. And so one of the 108 laws, stay with me. I'm putting the pieces together as they come into me, okay? One of the 108 laws, it says that we can take on the karma of other people unknowingly. And I was so interested to see how that happened, because I know that's what I was experiencing, because I know the first 30 years of my life did not warrant what I experienced. And I believed in God, and I still believe in God. I didn't know too much about karma, even though, I was one of them ones that threw that term around. Karma is put your curse word there. Okay. But now that I know a little bit more, karma is neither a B or a MF at all. It's not. It's not. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, how could we have taken on the karma of other people? And when I see how I mean me and you, if you are tuned into this channel, it's because you've experienced something that in your heart was not called for, was not warranted. And it's crazy how they've tried to brainwash us into thinking that pain is the only way to thrive. And I used to always say, God, well, I can experience it another way too. I can, I can learn a lesson. I do know, and I do realize, enter over and understand that when it's painful, I want to say it's more meaningful because some people don't always get the lesson out of pain, but there's always a lesson in it, and it's a way for you to grow as well. And so, how did we become who we are today? Thinking that we were the end all and the be all and taking on other people's karma. It's because we were misled in some sort of way. In a way. No, not in some sort of way, in a way. Because in the Bible it says that God didn't create man first, right? Did not. We are third in line when it comes to the creation story. We are third in line. And she mentioned it and she brought it home. And it was so beautiful the way she did it. If y'all ever look her up, her name is Anita Phillips. And it's a sermon that she did, and I can't remember, it was about seeds and something. I can't remember the title of it. Maybe when I rewatch this and I post it, if I remember and I don't skip through it, I'll put the link at the bottom. But the Bible says that God created the plants and the trees, which are the herbs, for our healing. And then God created the animals. And then us. Just like children, we were to look after them, not abuse them, certainly not murder them and eat them as we have done, and just, I can't even imagine. I bet the tale of tears can tell it though, when it comes to the animals. And so I was thinking, I still struggle with veganism. Please understand, overstand, and understand. Only to a certain extent. Like, I was about to go get some chicken the other day, and the smell of it just was like, no. And I was like, okay. Listen, y'all, when it was cooking, it smelled so delicious. But when it was sitting in the refrigerator, it really smelled like a dead carcass. Sorry to be so graphic, but it smelled like a decaying animal. And no. And I do know things that we cook lose their electricity, lose their nutrients. So they're essentially are dead, like when we cook vegetables and stuff like that. And listen, I still cook my vegetables. I still eat them raw. I'm learning. Listen, I'm learning. And this is just for me. This does not mean that you go out and you try and do the same thing. You have to feel what's right for your body. I've been on this journey my entire life. My body has been speaking to me my entire life, and it does not like certain things. What I did not recognize is that it did not like meat. I thought all the ailments that I was feeling was just because I was a sickly kid, because that's what I was told. But no, it was because of the things that I was putting in my body. And I'm not going to say I started over, because I went back to the beginning to learn some more things. I'm going to put it that way, because of course, you see, I gained weight, but I've lost some as well, since I've been continuously getting outside and eating correctly and not putting a lot of starches in my food. You know, I limit myself to buying like 2 potatoes. At one time, I did buy a whole bag of potatoes, and it was like, okay, I'll eat the whole bag of potatoes probably within not even a whole month, and that's sad. I love fries. I say all that to say, though, that the herbs are for our healing, and we were to take care of the animals. And I learned that from Lucky. I really did. I learned that from Per Lucky. We were to take care of the animals. That includes bees too. So let me say the insects. Although, let me put a little side note. I do not believe flies and these little big mosquitoes that I've been seeing over the past few years, few summers. I don't think they're normal. So other than them, And then guess what else I saw? Side note to the side note. Why did I see a wasp and bees like fighting? I was sitting outside and I just watched them and they were fighting. I didn't even know. I mean, I know everybody fight, but I'm like, what are they fighting for? Why are they fighting? And I seen birds fighting too, and I'm like, why are y'all fighting? Why are y'all fighting? Stop fighting. I even yelled at the birds, stop fighting. And then one of them flew off and went somewhere else. I didn't yell like, ah. I just was like, stop fighting. That's just my side note, just in case any one of you guys are struggling with your diet or struggling with how you're moving about. That's just a little side note. That's 2 confirmations. One from Dr. Sebi, and then one from Dr. Anita, and then my own experience with eating meats. With eating what? Like from an animal. I'm not talking about fish, although I heard the guru say, listen, I watch so much stuff, y'all. I heard the guru say that, not Sadhguru, I can't remember this guru's name, but he was talking about that everybody has karma. Everybody comes to this planet to work out their karma. That's why this is a lesson. This is hell, y'all. Let me just let you know that. This is hell. This is hell. Okay? And this is where you come out to work out your negative karma. Wouldn't that make sense? If we have negative karma, wouldn't that make sense? Wouldn't that make sense that we come to hell to work it out? Although I don't think it was supposed to be. I think this was actually heaven. Or heaven-ish, I'll say. Until certain entities, I guess, negative energies, I don't know. They say Eve was tricked. I don't know. I don't know. I do know my journey, though. And my journey says that meat is not good. No meat. This is really like a follow-up to my follow-up. Because that's what really drove me to do my first video, was because they was trying to kill me with meat. And when I say they, I mean the powers that be. So if they were trying to kill me and they're trying to kill you, I would say they're doing it the same way. I would say that. Especially if you were guided to watch this channel. Especially if this is your absolute first. Put the meat down. Take this as your warning. Not as a warning that something bad's going to happen to you. No. But take this as a warning that if you don't heed this warning, the consequences get a little bit more serious. Mine was, my body was kicking my butt, y'all. They call it fibromyalgia, but it's not fibromyalgia. It was because I was going against my nature by eating the animals of this planet. Now, I don't know about the fish because I haven't had like a physical reaction to it, but I know to cook meat. I surely did. Oh, it's been years since I even ate beef. Oh, years. Whenever I cheated, so to speak, it was either with chicken or turkey. It was. That's what it was. It was. This journey, okay. I gotta grow back my edges like I gotta grow back my plants, Lord, okay. Well, our hair is just like the plants, right? I would say so. All right, my loves. It is time for me to end this, and I shall see and talk to you guys later. Namaste, Ashe, Mazel Tov.